All through is standing in line, the clubs will never get in. It's like the bottom of the ninth, and I'm never gonna win this. Life hasn't turned out quite the way I want it to be. Tell me what you want. I want a brand new house on an episode of Cribs, and a bathroom I can play baseball in, and a king-size tub big enough for 10 plus me. What you need? I'll need a credit card that's got no limit, and a big black chain with a bedroom in it. Gonna join the Mile High Club at 37,000 feet. Been done. I want a new tour bus full of old guitars, Mount Star on Hollywood Boulevard. Somewhere between Cher and James Dean is fine for me. So how you gonna do it? I'm gonna trade this life for fortune and fame. I'd even cut my hair and change my name. Cause we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop bosses, driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. Well, I'll stay skinny cause we just won't eat it. We'll hang out in the coolest bars in the VIP with the movie stars. Every good gold digger's gonna wind up there. Every playboy bunny with a bleached blonde hair. And well, hey, I wanna be a rock star. Hey, I wanna be a rock star. I wanna be great like Elvis without the tassels. Hire 8 bodyguards that love to beat up assholes. Sign a couple autographs so I can eat my meals for free. I'm gonna dress my ass with the latest fashion. Get a front door key to the Playboy mansion. Gonna date a Santa phone that loves to blow my money for me. So how you gonna do it? I'm gonna trade this life for fortune and fame. I'd even cut my hair and change my name. Cause we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop bosses, driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. Well, I'll stay skinny cause we just won't eat it. We'll hang out in the coolest bars in the VIP with the movie stars. Every good gold digger's gonna wind up there. Every playboy bunny with a bleached blonde hair. And we'll hide out in the private rooms with the latest dictionary of today's zoo. They'll get you anything with that evil smile. Everybody's got a drug dealer on speed dial. Well, hey, I wanna be a rock star. I'm gonna sing those songs that offend the senses. Gonna pop my pills from a best dispenser. Get washed up singers writing on my songs. Let's sing them every night so I don't get them wrong. Well, we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop houses, driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. We'll all stay skinny cause we just won't eat it. We'll hang out in the coolest bars in the VIP with the movie stars. Every good gold digger's gonna wind up there. Every playboy bunny with a bleached blonde hair. And we'll hide out in the private rooms with the latest dictionary of today's zoo. They'll get you anything with that evil smile. Everybody's got a drug dealer on speed dial. Well, hey, I wanna be a rock star. Hey, I wanna be a rock star.
All right, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Ray, for saving the day.
Yes, thank you, Miss Ray. We appreciate it. Well, for those who don't know, we were on actually a few minutes ago, and Mr. Ray had come on and let us know that he couldn't hear us.
And you know what? That's going to be in the title. Mr. Ray saves the day.
Yes, thank you for saving the day for us, Mr. Ray. Mr. Ray says, how was your Thanksgiving? I had Thanksgiving dinner 4 nights in a row and don't want to see a turkey for another year, LOL.
Well, ours was interesting because of the oven issue.
Oh, yeah.
About, I would say last week, a week before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, right about.
Long story short, I dropped a tiny potato, down the sides of the bottom of the oven, so it went all the way down. And I'm like, motherfucker, right?
Yeah, underneath the base of the oven. Oh, the inside
So
of the oven.
yeah, so I just took that little, right where the burner is and the element is, and so I took that cover off, and I'm like, you know what? I took the potato out. I'm like, you know what? Since I'm here, let me just give it a kind of a good cleaning. And as I'm cleaning and shoving my arm back, my brain tells me, hey, you did this 20 years ago.
Yeah.
There's an element back there that you don't want to go near because you're going to break it. And it broke.
Oh, no.
I'm like,
The
damn it.
instinct's telling you this is a bad idea.
So,
And then the bad idea came through.
right.
Or came to fruition.
So long story short, we put a ticket in with the building. I'm like, these guys aren't going to, they're not. It's a big building and got a lot of shit to do.
It's true.
So let me look. I looked online and the prices for these igniters were insane. But Monday, and thank you for McCombs Supply.
McCombs Supply. Okay.
MCCOMBS.
All
It's a
right.
family company out of Pennsylvania.
All right.
$15 for the element.
Nice.
$15 to FedEx it.
Not
And
bad.
for $30, I got it Wednesday afternoon.
That's awesome.
And the night before, I was telling Jolene, well, this is the old burner. It's
The old igniter.
Old igniter. All the old parts are in this bag. I want to make sure that all the old parts are saved.
Yeah.
Because you never know if they send the right part. Maybe I asked for the wrong part. I don't know. But you save the old parts. It's a good practice to get in because it screwed me before to where I've pulled off an old part, tossed it, the new part came in, and I'd be like, what the fuck is this?
You don't have everything you need within your
I
part.
needed it. They didn't send the bolts, whatever. So I get the new part, and I go to put it in. I can't find the bolts.
Yeah. We're going to find those bolts that you specifically took off the brace from the old one. Probably within a year or so, maybe a matter of months.
I can't find them.
Oh, we will find them. We will. It's
But
just-
but nonetheless,
when?
I have the turkey sitting in the water, getting marinated and whatnot.
Yeah.
The clock's ticking. Picture like what was that Kiefer Sutherland show? 24.
Yeah.
Where it's boop, boop, boop. Picture Jolene at school. Boop. Me on my knees, my head in the oven. Boop. Scrambling, looking around for two screws. Like I'm detonating a bomb or trying not to detonate a bomb. Boop. Work, having to go to work.
Yep.
Boop.
And major buttons.
Right. Major buttons running around getting sick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And boop.
Poor
all
boy
of that.
getting
So
so
this
sick.
is, it's like a bad version of 24 that I'm living. So.
But not anymore. That's past tense.
Right. So I look around the oven while I'm on my hands and knees, and I remember the socket. The socket was the same size. All the bolts pretty much are all the same size on the socket.
Okay. Yeah.
So I MacGyvered it. All these TV show references. I took some
Or
bolts.
dated TV show
I took
references,
some
yeah.
bolts because this one was holding. There's like 30 of them. Like you don't need 30 here. So I'm going to take 2, and hopefully it'll go in and hold it up. So
Yeah.
it went in, and it held in, but it didn't hold it tight or taut. It was loose, but it was holding.
Okay. Yeah.
And I angled it up the same angle as the igniter.
Yeah.
Turned it on, and it worked.
That's good.
Perfect. Put the grate back on, and I know I have to go in there to put real bolts on to tighten it at some point. Then building services call around 5 and say, hey, we're coming up to fix it.
Yeah.
Guess who never fucking came?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, next day comes along. I'm at work, and building services come up to quote unquote fix it.
Yeah.
And Jolene's here,
I was home. Mm-hmm.
and this guy's fumbling around. She told him what happened. All he needs to do is, put new bolts in.
Yeah, that's it.
So he puts new bolts in. I come home that night, and this is a longer story short, but I come home that night. I go to make my chicken fingers and fries.
Yeah.
Put them in the oven, turn the oven on. Maybe a minute later, I hear boom, because the gas is filling up in the stove,
Yeah.
and the igniter finally lit it instead of that smooth, like,
Yeah.
Mr. A knows.
Yeah. When you turn a gas oven on, it should be this little like poof or like puff
Yeah,
sound.
poof, and then you
Yeah.
see the rest of it go
Yeah.
up.
Seconds there, just puff, and that's
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. This is
It's
a
not
bowl.
this boom, and then you smell fucking gas.
Yeah, it smelled like gas in here.
Yeah. So I'm like, God, you know.
You were so
I would-
angry with that, and I understand why.
So, I think I stopped cooking, or did I keep cooking?
You kept cooking.
I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
It's on. You can deal with it. So I ate. What's up, Dorothy?
Thanks for joining us, Dorothy.
How did the Tin Man make out? Did you send him on his way?
And Toto and
Toto?
Scarecrow and the lion. Don't forget the lion.
We're talking about fire, so be careful. How about some fire, Scarecrow?
Oh yeah, you don't want that. You definitely don't want that for Scarecrow.
Well, what about if she wants your red heels?
Oh, she
the
wants
red
red
shoes.
heels? Well, you don't need fire for that either. The ruby
But
slippers?
She's looking for them. They're not here.
Oh, I see. So that's why you think Dorothy's here.
I don't know.
Well, you tell us, Dorothy. Are you here for the ruby slippers?
You know,
'Cause we
state
don't
your
have them.
case.
Yeah, we don't have them.
Yeah. So next day, I open the oven, and I'm not. Oh, we're not even talking about the fiasco with the oven door, having to put that back on.
Yeah,
We're not even getting into that. So
chaos.
I'm not taking the door off. I'm just gonna go in there because I figure he put the right bolts on, and the igniter just needs to be adjusted so it's level
Yeah,
with the
the igniter with
The
the,
re-
flow of the gas. And
right,
everything.
the
Yeah.
gas, right?
You know how to do it because you're a grown up.
So,
Basically,
I've done it before. So,
Yeah.
again, I've broke it before. That's why I know how to fix it before. Not that I'm better than anybody.
Yeah.
I've broken it before. I'm a spaz. That's why I know how to fix it. I'm not a genius. When you break shit and you don't call somebody to have it fixed,
Yeah.
or you're poor like I was,
Mm.
and you have to learn how to fix it yourself.
Yeah.
And you actually have to learn how to talk to neighbors that actually know that might be able to help you,
There you go. Yeah.
So anyway, moving forward. So on my hands and knees, take the thing off. I look at the igniter.
Yeah.
These screws that he used were not even close to the screws
Oh my God.
that were supposed to be in. They were looser than the screws that I put
It's
in.
like, why? Why did he replace them then? Look at that.
So he didn't even check his work apparently.
No.
So I'm like, you know what? Fine. Everything's fine. I got in screws,
Yeah.
when I was out that day because I knew I was going to have to put the right screws in. But
Yeah.
apparently, JoJo Meathead, I didn't know. I'm glad that I got them.
It's good you got them. Yeah.
It's good that I got them. So,
A
I had
6
them,
millimeter or 8 millimeter.
whatever it was.
Which, yeah.
So I go in there, I put them in, I adjust the igniter, and everything's working fine.
Yeah, it is. No issues since.
No, and I'm thinking
Yeah,
he might have been
fix it.
getting sick because the igniter, if all that gas was leaking, he might have been getting sick from that.
Oh, maybe. That's a possibility. Yeah. I didn't
So,
think of that.
Anyway,
That might be true.
and then we had a nice little chicken,
We did.
and then today we slept in,
We did.
watched dirt, and then we said we got to do a podcast to check up on everybody.
Yeah, because we haven't
And
been
thank
on
God
here
Mr.
today.
A came in and saved the day as usual.
Yes. Mr. A coming through for us. Thank you, Mr.
As
A.
usual. Yes.
I'm sorry that you are sick of turkey at this point.
Yeah. And then Christopher Columbus has to come back in.
It's true, yeah, because Chris Columbus had come in, was it 2 days ago, I think it was? Or was it
Last time we did the podcast?
Yeah, was that yesterday or the day before?
It wasn't yesterday.
But either way, the little man was getting sick again, so had to cut the podcast short.
So, and it was my sister's birthday on the 25th.
Yeah, that's yesterday.
That was yesterday. Called her. Everything was cool.
Good news.
Happy birthday to my sister. My sister always took care of me. I always kick people's asses. That what do you want with my brother? I have a crush on him. Really, I'm gonna crush your fucking head. You leave my brother alone.
Oh man. You know what?
Very protective.
I could see that, but then
A
I
very
have this.
protective system.
I have this feeling though that you never really needed too much protection.
No, but I didn't want to be protected from all our hot friends. I didn't want to be protected from.
Of course, because I know one of them.
Yeah.
And there's one of them that you hooked up with once, but
Well,
yeah, it was.
Yeah, and let's say about that. And one of the friends I got hooked up with.
Yeah. Oh, what? There was another one?
That I could have, but
Oh, you could have. Okay. Because I know one you did. And you said, well, I didn't end up sleeping with her, that's it. And then you were describing what happened. I said, yeah, actually, you did end up, you had sex with her.
You know.
That's sex.
Okay. If you say so, honey. If you say so.
Well, I think if you take your dick and put it in her vagina, that's sex.
Or she puts her vagina on my dick.
Yes, that's sex.
That might not be.
Well, those are both sex.
We're going to have to ask the audience.
That's it. I'm sure our audience will tell us. Of course, this isn't a statement of judgment. I'm just stating facts.
Oh, I'm just saying.
But yeah, we can see if our audience members agree with me or agree with you on that.
Well, let's see. So what do you got?
Well, I got, this is some relatively good news. At this point in time, there have been 41 hostages released by Hamas.
Right.
And now Israel has released around 75 prisoners at this point from the Israeli military prisons so far. Now, the 41 hostages, most of them are Israeli hostages. Some of them were visitors from I think it was Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, coming to see the music festival,
right?
And then a few of them were visitors from the Philippines that have been released so far. No American hostages have been released yet, and Hamas is saying they're going to keep a hold of the American hostages because the reason hostages are being released is because Biden is helping. That's what it is. Like basically,
but no American hostages are being released. How's that Biden helping?
Well, Biden's helping.
Doesn't he like them?
Oh no, he does like them.
He reads their names like, oh, I remember her. She didn't give good on the campaign.
He's trying to get them to release the American hostages, but what Hamas is saying is that they don't want to give up all the American hostages yet because they think
like
that.
them?
Well, no, they think that if they release the American hostages, then we're just going to kind of say, okay, screw it, let Israel handle it, and then Israel's going to go in and just completely demolish Gaza more. So they know.
But they are.
Exactly, which is the reason why Israel's not just demolishing Hamas, not demolishing Gaza right now, is because Biden and the White House are saying, no, you can't just go kill everybody. You can't do that. You got to stop. You need to actually come to negotiations. We need hostages back, and you need the hostage negotiations. They give us hostages, and you release some of the women and children that are prisoners that you've taken from Palestine. This Hamas knows that basically if Biden's not involved, that Israel would just come and kill everybody. And that doesn't help anybody. So basically, Biden's helping. But they're saying, well, we need to keep some of the American hostages because of this. And Biden's saying, like, no, you need to give back the American hostages. So it's a whole thing.
It is a whole thing.
Yeah.
I know they don't got, TV so they can watch the games and stuff.
That's the biggest concern, that they don't get to
watch the games. They got to make them comfortable.
They got to make them comfortable.
What are they watching, cricket?
Watching what? Isn't the
cricket?
Game cricket?
The sport, yeah. Because that's a big sport out there.
Is it a big sport in the Middle East specifically?
Yes.
Okay.
It's huge.
I know football is.
It's actually the biggest betting sport out in that region.
Really?
It's very popular. Oh, yeah.
That's something I would have thought that football would have been a bigger betting sport. Okay.
Cricket. It's something about the whole, do you know what cricket is, right?
I do know what cricket is, but I don't know how to play
it. You see it on TV, right?
Yeah, I don't know how to play it.
Basically, that one guy gets up and he's standing at the thing.
At the thing?
Basically at the plate, which is kind of like a baseball plate.
Yeah.
He has one swing. That's it.
Okay.
What he does with that one swing?
Yeah.
And the pitcher has one pitch, and that's it.
Yeah.
Next.
Like, what does any of this mean?
No, but I know. I have
no idea what the rules are there.
Sonny from the deli where we used to live explained it to me once, and when he explained it to me, I fully understood it.
Really?
But if you ask me to explain it again, I won't know.
That's okay.
But when he explained it, I could see the appeal because he said that's one of his favorite sports. And he explained it to me, and I could see why it's a good sport. But again, it's that whole, you have one shot at, hitting it. And I think there's, if I'm not mistaken, I think there is 3 bases.
Okay, yeah.
And then you have to try to run all 3 to wherever.
Yeah.
I don't know. The way he explained it, it was good, but from what I've seen on TV, it's just like, wow, it's incredibly boring.
Huh.
Because the guy sits there forever and never pitches it.
Really?
It just could be me as a rushed American. Like, why doesn't he just pitch it already?
Oh, maybe that's probably it. I mean, we're very much we're a very impatient culture.
Yeah, it's like with baseball. You say, oh, it's so boring because they don't it goes so slow, and now they have that rule the pitcher has to throw the ball within a certain amount of time.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I know one of my classmates, he's played baseball, but one of his brothers actually played minor leagues for a while,
Mhm.
and he was saying that they've changed the rules and sped things up, and he said people are going to get hurt because
Exactly.
of this. Pitchers are going to get hurt because of
because
this.
they can't rest it for that. You know,
That added
if
time.
they're running against the clock and they just need to kind of loosen up and they don't have time to do it,
Yeah.
they're going to get hurt.
Huh. That's something, I didn't find, or at least I currently don't find baseball boring. I find golf boring though.
Yeah, baseball and golf are boring.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think baseball's boring.
I do.
Okay.
But
And I never really actually played like any serious golf, so maybe that's probably why I find it boring.
Golf is fun to play, but I can't
Yeah.
do 18 holes. I could do 9.
Okay, that's enough.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
that's plenty. Yeah,
All right.
because I suck at it. But my friend George is
No judgment.
no. My friend George, he shoots like a average between like a 65. Averages like 65 or 62, which is
That's good?
insanely good.
Really?
No, it's like insanely good. I don't know why he's
You don't know why he's what?
doing it professionally.
What, he is for doing it professionally?
I don't know why he's not.
Oh, I wonder why.
Because he's a roofer. That's why.
Oh, maybe that's
George
it.
Champenour Roofing.
Okay. Now with what are like professional golf numbers?
I don't know. I'll look it up.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I have no idea.
But I know it's good.
Either way,
But
good
it's
for him.
on a huge. If I, most people that don't golf and they suck
Yeah.
like me, 120, 130.
All right. And
So-
that's sucky. Those are sucky
That's
numbers.
terrible numbers.
Okay.
Yeah. Dog leaves Newark Animal Shelter after 2 years, but still needs a forever home.
Oh. Yeah, read that one louder for our listeners.
Oh. A dog leaves Newark Animal Shelter after 2 years, but he still needs a forever home.
Oh, I hope he gets a forever home.
That's
And Newark is in New Jersey, for those who don't know.
It's that whole. Did I tell you I went on a date one night?
A date? When did you go on a
dates.
date?
Back in the day.
Oh, back in the day.
Patience
Yeah,
and persistence paid off for an animal rescue in Lyndhurst, Red, who got moved today to a foster home after a 2-year wait. Until now, Red had been living at the Humane Society in Newark. A woman who runs a dog rescue in Lyndhurst found him to be sweet and bubbly, so she made it her top priority to find him a new home.
He came November 2021, like pretty height of the pandemic, as a stray, and then we just kept getting dog after dog after dog, and I think he just kind of got pushed in the background.
Red appears to be between 4 and 6 years old, so he still has a lot of good living to do. Patience and persistence paid off for an animal rescue worker determined to help.
But
Alright.
yeah, I went on a date one time.
Yeah.
Asked her what she wanted to do, so she said, "Kiss me where it smells." So I took her to Newark.
Oh. Oh, wow. Of course. But I'm bummed. I should have known.
It was coming.
Yeah, I should have. But I didn't. I'll be honest with you. I did not know that that was a.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I did not know that. I did not know that there was a punchline coming to this.
There's always a punchline coming somewhere.
That's a good point. It's with you. You would think after being with you for more than 15 years, I would know that there's always a punchline. Just in the works.
How many things did you learn yesterday?
I don't know. How many things did I learn
I don't know. I
yesterday?
told you a bunch of things. You're like, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Of course, there were dumb things that you don't really need to know. But
I'm not sure. All I know is I know this weekend I am so flipping tired. It's kind of hard keeping track of.
and it doesn't feel like tomorrow's going to be Monday, which
Yeah, I'm disappointed tomorrow's
Right.
Monday.
like
Well,
wasn't.
It does, but I'm at least happy because I've got 3 weeks and 1 day left of this term of school,
Mhm.
and then I get a few weeks off.
That's good.
I mean, I'm working those weeks, but it's different.
That's different. How is it different?
It's different because, well, there's, I know with school, it's full-time, seriously full-time hours in school.
Right.
And then working, it's a totally different thing because it just is. I'm doing different things when I'm working than I am at school.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to something different for a minute.
True. All right. What else you got?
And I got this, sending well wishes to the men and their families with this. There are 41 men trapped in a highway tunnel in
Yeah.
the Indian Himalayas now. They've been trapped in there for 2 weeks.
Wow.
They got
But they're
trapped.
able to get food and water, yes.
They can get
Thank
food.
God.
Yeah, they have access to food and water and oxygen and also light and medicines. They just can't get out. They've been stuck in it's a 4.5 kilometer or 3 mile tunnel that was being built in, I'm sorry, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Uttarakhand state, since this tunnel caved in, it caved in early on November 12th. These are construction workers from one of India's poorest states. Now, the reason why they're not able to get out is because there's drilling equipment to actually try to get them out, and it keeps breaking.
Mm-hmm.
And the drilling equipment piece of it gets stuck to itself and it busts, so they have to find new ways to get in. So they're still working on it. But this region where this tunnel caved in is prone to landslides, earthquakes, and floods.
Dang. But well wishes out to them, because I know I woke up last night and I checked my phone and I saw that, they were able to see that one guy's sticking his head out.
But he couldn't get out.
I guess they couldn't get out. Yeah.
Oh, man. That's tough. I'm hoping they're able to get out soon.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's not something you want to deal with.
No, I agree.
But, well wishes out to them and their families.
I agree, and I hope they're out soon. Especially
during Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you say Thanksgiving because, Thanksgiving is so big in India.
Right.
I'm sure.
How did they miss their turkey day?
Yeah, well, we both know what we're talking about on that.
It's a joke, guys.
Yeah, it's an inside joke on this one. Just the whole, really? Really? I thought he was joking when he said it. Yeah. Until I realized, oh my God, he's not joking. He's serious.
Hey, Barry Manilow's musical Harmony debuted on Broadway.
Oh, yeah, I heard that it was going to happen. Yeah. How was it reviewed?
I don't know. They said there's a lot of fine-tuning. Here, you can read it.
Let me see, okay. Years and years refining it. He was in a crash in his Range Rover.
Oh, shit.
He escaped injury when his Range Rover was one of 4 automobiles involved in a collision. It was a wet street. Let's see. He remained in good spirits despite that. Okay.
What about the show?
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
The show.
Yeah, I'm trying to see about this.
Reviews.
I mean, this
What's up, Tanner?
Yeah.
Oh, Tanner would know.
Oh, Tanner might know about the Barry Manilow musical.
You heard about the Barry Manilow musical? Yeah,
yeah,
musical that
words.
Debuted on Broadway.
Barry Manilow musical.
What's it called?
I don't know. Let me see.
But Tanner would know if it was any good.
Maybe if he went to see it.
No.
The musical is called Harmony.
Harmony. Gee, I really love you. So,
yeah, I don't
Tanner
see.
would know.
He might. Yeah, I don't see anything about the musical.
You mean the reviews?
The reviews, or even the musical, mind you.
Oh.
Nothing.
Well.
Okay. Well, I mean, the New York Post is known for its quality journalism.
Enough.
That was sarcasm for those who don't know.
Sometimes they have to let interns write stuff. It doesn't come out so well.
But don't they always, or do they always?
Seems like they have them to do a lot.
It seems like it. Yeah.
A lot.
It's not exactly known for journalism.
Yeah.
All right, well, this is good news. In Australia, Australia, as of course a country and a continent, has banned convicted domestic violence people convicted of domestic violence from anywhere in the world from getting a visa for entering their country.
What happened?
Australia as a whole
Right.
has recently passed into law that anybody anywhere around the world
Right.
who's been convicted of domestic violence cannot get a visa to enter their country.
Oh.
And even people living there currently, or people who have a visa and staying there, if they're convicted of domestic violence, Australian police are going to work on getting them out of the country.
Right.
I feel like it's a good sign.
Yeah, where are they going to go though? Place of origin, or?
It doesn't say. I would imagine so. That's probably what it is. Place of origin, or to say for domestic violence, probably just about anywhere else.
See, that would be better, I think, than like an MMA, because MMA is kind of a brutal sport. And I know it's very, very popular.
Oh yeah.
But for me, I would watch it if it was just like, okay, at this corner is so and so. He beat his wife and his 4-year-old so bad the 4-year-old had a broken femur. And in this corner, they go through what they did.
Okay.
And then the fight doesn't end. There's just one guy that walks out.
So one of them, they fight to the death.
Until they can't, not to the death, but until they can't move anymore.
Okay, I can see that. I mean, it's brutal.
Well,
but
it sends a message.
It does send a message. The only thing
you want to come to our country, you have to earn your way in.
Yeah, but the only thing I would be concerned about is that it might encourage more behavior like that.
That's true.
Yeah. Because, this domestic violence, people convicted of domestic violence, it involves whether you beat your spouse or you beat your children, or beat children as a whole. You can't come in.
That's a good idea. Yeah, that's absolutely
good
idea. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because like you said, where are they going to go? Well, pretty much anywhere else in the world.
Epstein Island.
Including here. Well, Epstein Island, but they could even come here to the U.S., so.
Yeah, but then what?
Well, I mean, you can get away with that kind of thing here, at least on some level. I think there are places really working on it.
I know that they really are fucking lenient with laws here, because anytime I'm reading somebody that's like, oh yeah, so-and-so, punched an old lady in the face, et cetera,
Yeah.
They were just released because they served a 5-year sentence of murdering a cop or something. Like, what? A fucking cop murderer got out of jail, period.
Yeah.
Is wrong. But then only after 5 years is even fucking, unless there's evidence to say that he didn't or she didn't do it.
Yeah.
The fuck are they doing out?
Yeah, murder is usually a one-time thing, but not always.
But if it's to a cop, it has to be different set of standards.
I would think so too. Well, plus
or like a fireman or an EMT.
Yeah.
That someone in the civil service industry that's there to help people.
Yeah.
If you're there to get in their way or to hurt them.
Yeah.
And again, civilians do have rights, of course, but I'm just saying, like, Koch came out with the hate crime. He was the one that's, all right, this guy punched this guy in the face. Okay, for example, you get a year in jail.
Okay.
Oh, he called him a faggot? Oh, that's a hate crime now. We're going to add 8 years to that.
Yeah.
Koch came up with that.
That's cool. That's really cool.
He was just like, I ain't putting up with this.
Yeah. Stop being a spoiled little brat, trying to come up with reasons for why you hate somebody else.
Right. So it's just a hate crime could be. I mean, at the time it was against homosexuals, but I think he didn't know the kind of great bill that he created.
Yeah.
Well, they created, because now it just covers everybody.
That's good.
If you get kicked in the face or whatever, and it's because you're, Mexican or you're whatever.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the laws should be stiff enough where you don't need another law on top of it. But if you could put another law on top of it, it's just to say, okay, now you said that. Now it's not murder, but it's not assault either. It's in between.
Yeah.
Or it is, a smart dude.
Or it is assault, and you assaulted them because you hated them because you think they're just that much different from you.
Right.
What a stupid reason
Muslim
to hate somebody.
or Christian or whatever it
is. Black, or a woman.
Yeah.
Transsexual, Jewish. Yeah, I'm gonna say name your
Pick
Yeah.
your poison.
exactly. Well, it's actually in connection with people standing up for what's right, and this is also a kind of a shout out to German soccer fans of this too. There was a Preußen Munster and Würzburger kickers match going on. It was they had actually the kickers team had brought out Leroy Quadwo. He's an African player. He's actually from Ghana, and he's a defender for the kickers. He had actually was pointing out a problem in the stands. Well, a Munster fan
Mm-hmm.
started making monkey noises at him. Yeah, monkey noises at him because he's a racist asshole. Or started making monkey noises at him. So the Munster fans, other Munster fans, actually pointed him out to officials in the stadium so that they could grab a hold of this guy and get him out. And as officials from the stadium are removing this guy from the stadium, people started chanting "Nazis out! Nazis out! Nazis out!" So
Didn't something?
they stood up and applauded Quadwo, and members of the Munster team had actually gone and patted him on the back too.
Mm-hmm.
We're not all racist assholes.
And what didn't something like that happen in Trump today?
Oh yeah, well they didn't make monkey noises at him, but there was in South Carolina there was a ball game that he showed up at, and apparently he got a lot of boos.
Oh.
There are people who cheered him on, but then there are people who gave him boos, and apparently quite loudly too. So now it's his fans are saying like, "Well, you're not being fair. He was getting cheers too. See, he was getting cheers." But then other people are saying, "No, you see, listen, he was getting booed too."
Hey, Mr. Be Great.
Thanks for joining us, Mr. Be Great.
Johnny
Be
Be
great
Good.
times.
Johnny Be Good. How you doing, buddy?
And thanks for joining us.
Yeah, where you from? How's your Thanksgiving? All that.
All right, good news, Mr. Be Great Times. That he said he's doing good. All right.
All right, indeed.
Helping everybody. Well, of course, not everybody listening had a Thanksgiving break because not everybody here is from the U.S. But hoping everybody has had a good weekend.
I know Mr. A kind of got burnt out, but
it's true. Yeah, Mr. A said he had 4 Thanksgiving dinner nights in a row. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, here's another bit of news that actually Tim had sent me, which I was quite amused by. There is a man. He was arrested because he walked into a convenience store, masturbated in front of everybody there, and then walked out. Now, what I was amused by, of course, first I'm thinking is like, ew. But then what I was amused by is, you know what the name of this convenience store is? Come and Go.
Well.
No joke. Come and Go.
No. Oh, he's from Illinois. That's cool.
Very cool. We're from New York, New York.
But the funny thing in that article that I
other
read...
than his was that he jerked off and Come and Go?
Yeah. Other than that is when the cop came up to the car to see what he was doing, he didn't stop.
Yeah. He was still masturbating.
He finished.
Yeah.
Kind of like license and insurance. Sure. Just kept going at it and...
Mr. B.
Yeah, exactly.
He followed the instructions. LOL.
Hey,
yes,
I didn't want to do it on the side of the road. You know,
oh,
no rest areas for resting.
Oh,
come and go is to come and go.
That is so funny. But he walked out, and he was arrested actually on Thursday. Well, they had to find him first. Because apparently they didn't find him right off the bat.
What, was the cop in such shock that he just froze?
Well, no, the guy had masturbated in the store, and after he finished, he left the store.
Ah.
So then basically the worker in the store, one of the workers in the store, had called the cops and said, hey, here's what happened. And they're trying to find him. They have security cameras. So actually, with the security cameras, they saw a very clear video of him. And actually, police had reached out to him and just said, hey, is this you? And he said, no, it's not you. And then police had gone through and said, well, is this your shirt? Do you have a shirt like this? Oh, yeah, I have a shirt like this. Is this piece of clothing? Do you have that? Oh, yeah, I have that piece of clothing too. Basically, they caught him, yeah, it is you. So then they went to arrest him. And when they arrested him, as they are arresting him, he would, as the police were arresting him, he was jerking off. Mr. B. Great Time says DNA testing. Yes, I would imagine by the sounds of it, this Come and Go probably has a sizable amount of DNA from this man within.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Unbelievable.
But I was amused that the store had to be named Come and Go. When you told me that at first, like, oh, it'll Come and Go, like, oh, yeah, that's funny. Like, no, that's actually the name of the store. What?
Can't
Are you
make it up.
serious? Mr. B Great Time says he needs some milk. You know?
Right.
Well, it sounds like he needs some something. Maybe milk is part of that, what he needs too.
He's a good lawyer now.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, man.
So, let's see.
And Mr. B Great Time says drugs. Probably needs some drugs.
I don't think. I think he had enough drugs. He probably needed less drugs.
Oh, maybe that's part of it. Depending on what drugs he was on.
He was doing some research.
Was that the
Right. You know who we should hook him up with is Sally Nordstrom.
Oh, that'd be a good idea.
The whole maybe there is something to that. He goes to the little.
Oh, you're right.
She's more of a city girl.
She
And
is.
he's kind of a country.
She's from here in New York.
But she's a city girl, and he's like a country boy. Could
Yeah.
this match ever work?
Because this
like
was in
3
Florida.
acres.
Because this was in Florida,
There
wasn't
you
it?
go.
Of course it was.
So, I'm gonna write that down. That's a good TV show.
You should. All right, you should do this.
That's a good. I would watch that show.
And Mr. B Great Time says drinking milk helps when you are high.
It helps. What? Wouldn't it be more like got a cotton mouth? The last thing I would want was be milk.
Well, I think it depends on what you're high on.
True.
Yeah. Because not all drugs give you cotton mouth.
Yeah, but doesn't milk help bring you down on some drugs?
I honestly have no idea.
Funny, like, give him milk. Give him milk. Sounds like something you learn, a high school basement
Yeah, that's it.
kind of cure.
Yeah.
Like, dude, give him milk.
That's all he needs.
Dude, give him milk. He'll be fine.
Yeah. Like milk.
What? 1%? No, milk.
Like milk.
Heavy cream, dude. I said milk.
Well, it sounds as silly as the whole thing. Like, you gotta burn. Get some butter. Put some butter on. Like, why?
Right.
Why would you put butter on a burn? No, that's not a good choice. And Mr. Big Great Time says milk helps, but I don't know how. LOL. That's all right. You don't have to explain it to us, Mr.
Oh,
Big
my
Great
God,
Time.
it's too much.
I had never heard that before about milk helping with, or helping, however, when someone is high.
Yeah.
Bringing you down, and of course being high on what?
Well, that's the point. If you're that high, you need someone to help you be
Yeah,
kind of.
bring you back.
I think it would be more like a water kind of thing.
I could see that. I could see water being a choice for
Yeah.
it. I would think so. Water, kind of to dilute things.
Yeah, there was somebody else that I read. Stop milking the issue. That's
Yes,
right.
Mr. B Great Times just said stop milking the issue. LOL. Yes, you're right, Mr. B Great Times.
Because they're saying now that Bruce Lee died actually from drinking too much water.
Really?
There's a thing to where if you drink too much water,
Yeah, that's a thing.
actually, remember I was
Yeah.
starting to get that. I think. Remember that's why
You
the
were?
doctor had said I had to. What's up, crazy lady?
Crazy lady, good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
That I had to stop drinking so much water and actually eating salt, which salt. I thought I had to get off salt.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, and you drink tons of Gatorade, which has a highish sodium content.
How are you, crazy lady?
Good to
What's
see
good?
you here. Haven't seen you in a minute.
Yeah.
And how was your Thanksgiving? Oh, go, kitty, go! Major Buttons is getting his scratching post behind us.
Putting supplies away. Yeah, well, that's part of it, right? It's got to clean up now.
Hopefully it's not too much to put away.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't tell you. We're recording this one.
Yeah, we're video
recording this. Probably put it up on YouTube or something. Do it on your see.
Oh, let me see.
Do it. Yeah. So we'll put it on YouTube and.
Why not?
I guess I don't know what channel I have anymore.
Mr.
I'll
Very Times
figure
is
it out.
cool.
But I'll let everybody know now what channel it's going to be. But I'm working on something else right now.
Oh, I know you are, baby. I know you are.
Working on it.
Oh,
So-
my. No, I saw this too out in Dublin. This is kind of old news at this point, but riots had broken out in Dublin. It was there was an attack. A man had attacked some people, and he'd injured 3 children. One of them is a 5-year-old girl who is still in critical condition at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what are you playing?
Okay.
Oh, okay. You have a 5-year-old girl who is still in critical condition. There's a child care worker who had tried to intervene. She was also injured in all of this. And the man, the suspect, who had actually started all of this, is in the hospital at this point too.
All right, Mr. B, you have fun.
Thanks for joining us, Mr.
Yes.
Great Times, and we'll catch you on the next
It's
time.
funny, dude.
Crazy lady said it is a cinnamon and pear. Oh, the new winter edition Red Bull. No, haven't tried it. I mean, mind you, I haven't taken in any caffeine in several years. Caffeine makes me twitch, so I can't do it. But you might try the Red Bull edition.
No, I don't do Red Bulls. Again, my hands are like.
Yeah. But I'm glad that it's good. Glad you're enjoying it, crazy lady. But yeah, she said this is cinnamon and pear edition. And
It sounds like it would be good.
Yeah, I would think so. Oh yeah, but what I was saying about these the riots in Dublin, these people were responding to this man who was hurting people. Now, mind you, the riots that were happening, people are setting cars on fire, buses on fire, and started doing posting anti-immigrant graffiti.
Yeah.
Of course they are. Plus, they were shouting anti-immigrant slogans, because of course. Now, the head of police, Garda Commissioner Drew Harris, said Dublin has not seen this level of violence in decades. Now, he blames it on the quote-unquote lunatic hooligan faction driven by far-right ideology.
Oh, lunatic fringe. I know you're out there.
Yeah. Oh, they're here too. That's the whole thing.
Too much.
Yeah, way too much. So, sending so much love and so much support. So, of course, to the people recovering, to the families of those recovering, and for those, I was gonna say, if you're following, Nazi ideology, like this one thing I said this to Tim yesterday. Like, I thought from decades upon decades upon decades ago, we realized how bad the Nazis were.
Yeah.
There you go. It's still going.
That's my laptop. I'm sorry.
Still going. But I thought we knew from the last time that Nazis were so bad. Why are people still following them? Yeah, if you can see it, that's a bruise on Tim's arm. We're going to post that up on the videos again.
Oh. Yeah, I feel like just saying, it's enough, everybody. That's enough.
Yeah, you would think. I do.
It's enough with this back and forth violence. And the world is a beautiful fucking place. It really is.
It really can be. That's for sure.
No, it is. It really is a beautiful place. Why not enjoy it? I don't know. I think we're just better than what we are. So,
Or we could be better than what we are?
No, we are. We just choose not to be. Does that make sense?
I could see what you're saying.
It does take some effort to be nicer and all that.
Yeah.
And yeah, like Crazy Lady, if you look...
People don't realize that violence doesn't help your cause at all. That's what Crazy Lady just said. Yeah,
right.
Agreed. Absolutely agree with you, Crazy Lady.
And I'm saying it is uncivilized.
Yeah,
but
it is uncivilized.
It's actually, it's kind of unintelligent too, because some pro-Palestinian people took a bunch of paint and threw it all across the New York's public library, that beautiful library.
Yeah, the main one.
The beautiful one. That's like everyone comes from other countries. They just go there to see
it's a beautiful library.
Beautiful it is. And you're not helping anybody by doing that. Like,
yeah. I mean, I understand you need to get the word out. Yes. Is it
because you know someone's going to clean it up and you don't give a shit? Or is it just, you live here? Or, you're... Again, I don't understand it. And
for some,
I'm glad I didn't see it happening unfold, because I would have fucking not reacted well.
That wouldn't have been helpful, and I'm glad because I don't want to have to go visit you in the pen.
For as much as I was saying, don't be violent, I think I would have fucking lost my shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's, of course, the pro-Palestinian movement, very valid. Very, very valid things. Yes, yes, yes. We can't. I just agreeing to let anybody go in and just brutalize populations of people who did nothing wrong, kill people who did nothing wrong. That's wrong. That's totally wrong. That's not okay by any means.
Right.
But then also going through and calling for violence against, specifically against Israel as a whole, or against the Jews as a whole. Israel's not doing this as a whole. The far-right ideology, which is also equally as dangerous, that are unfortunately running the Israeli government, they're the ones doing this. The Israeli populace does not like those people. So don't go after Israel as a whole. You need to call out the ones doing this. So it's on one side that's awful going after another side that's awful and doesn't get anywhere. You need the sane people that are not part of either of those ideologies actually trying to come up with a solution.
Mm-hmm. But
Yeah.
Hopefully someday it'll work out.
I hope so too. I know there's a big call for a two-state solution. Why not?
Well, because look what happened.
Oh, what's unfortunately happened is I know Hamas is dangerous and it's a terrorist organization, and also the far-right government running a lot of Israel, or at least the majority of Israel at this point, is a very dangerous issue. Far-right Israel wants to go over and take over Palestinian properties, take over Palestine. More of it. This belongs to us. You have people who've lived there with their families for centuries, and you're saying they have to leave now? That's not okay.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have Palestinians saying, "Oh, Israel has to go. The Jews have to go." Like,
Yeah.
no, that doesn't help either.
But
there need to be sane people talking to each other.
And I think they have to let a lot of stuff go that has been happened in the past.
Yeah.
And I know it's hard to do.
Yeah.
But you kind of have to.
But then also too, let stuff go. Like, let what go? What do you have
Things
to
that happened in the past.
Well,
they did this, they did that.
Yeah. And
that's tough. It's really tough to do.
You need to find a place of stability.
Yeah.
Place of sanity.
Right. Just Lume for all.
Lume for all? Is that what it is? It's Lume or Mondo. Mondo is for the men.
You know what? How
Lume
about
is
both?
for women.
Lume and Mondo.
For everybody.
Lume and Mondo. At your favorite store.
There we go. Are you going to do a commercial for him?
Lume and Mondo.
Oh my. Yeah, they need to hire you, baby.
In the video, you see make your buttons clean in his butt.
He is. Oh, well, he's cleaning his back left leg right now. He's not actually cleaning his butt. Not at the moment.
Okay.
Not his hiney.
Well, that's close.
It's pretty close.
What's up, buddy boy?
Yeah, you can kind of see him in the background there. He's up on the bed. Oh my.
Oh, hold on.
Yes?
No, I wanted to do something, but I'm kind of not prepared.
Oh, let's hear it.
And I know we're not going to be here tomorrow, right?
No. I have a late
Right.
day tomorrow, yeah.
Let me see. But what about in better news?
Better news. This is, I don't know if it's better per se, but it's better-ish. There was actually in, here's a second. The WHO, or the World Health Organization, has been speaking with, again, officials in China about there have been a rise in child pneumonia cases in China.
Mm-hmm.
So WHO is talking to them, and China has reported back that there are no quote-unquote unusual or novel pathogens in clusters of child pneumonia cases. So at least in theory, that's a good idea. But Beijing has attributed a rise in flu-like illnesses to the lifting of COVID curbs, because they really had some tight restrictions on where you could go anywhere at any time during, of course, the height of COVID.
Right.
Well, they've lifted those curbs, and now we're claiming that this rise in pneumonia in children is because of that. And there are reports of hospitals being overwhelmed by these cases in recent days. Now, pneumonia, so you know, as a whole, is an infection and inflammation of the lungs. So it's a lot of different things that can cause it. It can be caused by many different viruses, bacterial, or fungi. But what they're saying is there's an increase in influenza-like illness, which this pneumonia can be because it's influenza-like. It's compared to the same period over the past 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not sure exactly what's going on with it.
Yeah. But, one thing I wanted to talk about too was the, I think everybody knows I'm for, legalization of all drugs, or the drug war should end.
Yeah.
And I don't think it should be sold like at delis and stuff like that, but
Okay.
I do think it should be made accessible, like alcohol.
Yeah.
Or maybe even under a doctor's care.
Yeah.
And I was, looking around. I always kind of fuck around with stocks and stuff, but there is this company, or I found it through looking for a stock, right?
Yeah.
And the ticker symbol is SSPLF.
SSPLF.
Yes.
All right.
It's Safe Supply streaming company. They're out of Canada.
Okay.
And they're basically saying, look, the drug war is over. Since all these drugs are being legalized, it's a matter of time before they all do.
I would think so.
And I guess they're looking to do it in the safest way that they know how.
I think that's a good idea. Why not?
But it's a smaller company, and it's just starting to do some things. So we'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
And I hope they don't fuck it up.
I hope so too.
It's a long time coming.
Yeah, I think
for sure that a lot of people that need the help don't get the help because they have that stigma.
Yeah.
But I think when it's legal, like, if you're an alcoholic, it's still really hard to get help.
Yeah, I think
as far as coming out and admitting it, that's half of it.
Yeah. Because let me guess, you can stop whenever you want, right?
Right. So.
Yeah, I felt the same way about cocaine.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, not so much.
Yeah. But yeah, it's called safesupply.com. And if you want to poke around on that website, not saying you're going to get weed or coke there, but you can invest in the company, and it's at their stock's only like less than $1. So again, they're just stating that Portugal decriminalized drugs in 2001.
Yeah.
Colorado decriminalized all drugs in 2019.
Yeah.
British Columbia to have all drugs and is taking proactive measures, having the first prescribed safer supply program in 2021.
That's great.
At Scotland and in 2022, Bern, Switzerland announced intent to conduct a pilot of legal cocaine sales.
Yes.
So, plus at the end of the day, when you look at it, a lot of these states and governments, it's too much money out there to say no to.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's just, like in that one song, Smuggler's Blues. They say they're going to stop it, but it doesn't go away.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I definitely get that. It's not going to go anywhere. There's a market for it.
Big market.
There are your customers for it.
Yeah. Let's see. There is. I was just Camille John. Oh, In and Out.
That's all right.
That's right. And so that's it, I think, right?
That works. Well, I got one actually piece of this is amusing news to me.
All right, well, go ahead.
Okay, well, this was this was golf related. I said golf was boring, but I'm amused by this. Rory McIlroy's ball in the World Tour Championship. That's how you say the words. Rory McIlroy's ball actually had lodged in the lap of a spectator.
That's funny.
But then also too, what do? Does he?
You just sit there.
Does he? Well, do you just sit there, or do they have to move? Does he have to try to hit it off of this person's
Well, you
lap?
sit there and then the refs figure that out.
Probably. I was amused by this. I thought that was
You
funny.
should be. But I want to wrap it up with something now. Of course, I just went.
Oh.
But tomorrow, you know what tomorrow is?
What's tomorrow?
Jimi Hendrix's birthday.
All right. Happy birthday, Jimmy.
Happy birthday. And did you know, does he have children? Yes or no?
Does Jimmy have children?
Yep.
No.
He does.
He does?
He does. He has one son, James
Really?
Daniel Lundquist.
Okay.
Mhm.
Huh.
Supposedly a daughter too, but
All right.
I'd say, hey, what's up, Angel Bear?
Thanks for joining us, Angel Bear.
But yeah, happy,
Happy birthday, Jimmy.
early birthday to Hendrix.
Yeah.
And who got his fortune when he died? Well, he didn't have any money then, but basically now it's like an $80 million estate.
Oh, I don't know who got it.
His father,
His
Al
father
Hendrix.
got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because he was closest with his father, he was a paratrooper
I did know that,
in the
yeah.
Army. Okay.
In Vietnam.
Yeah.
He was a
He actually
paratrooper.
served in fucking Vietnam.
Yeah. He was in the Army.
As a
Yeah.
paratrooper with Buddy Miles.
What?
Yeah, they were in the same platoon.
Wow.
Buddy Miles said he knew this guy was crazy because something about he had his guitar and some guys were razzing him
Mm-hmm.
and trying to beat the shit out of him. Hendrix just pounced on his guitar and was he'll take the beating, but just don't touch my guitar. And Buddy Miles saw that and broke up to get the fuck out of here. But basically it was yeah, this motherfucker's crazy.
Yeah.
But good crazy.
Yeah.
I need to get with him.
He's crazy talented.
Yeah, but if he's gonna take a beating over,
Yeah.
I need to get with him.
Yeah. I would think so.
And it's also his fortune is the most litigated estates in history.
It was, really.
Is
It still is.
still is.
People are still fighting over his fortune.
Yeah.
Of course.
So yeah, because it's Hendrix. He's an icon.
Yeah.
A lot to be said.
Living, breathing icon.
Yeah, but I'm gonna close it out with one of my favorite interviews with him. So
Okay.
that whole there. So we'll see you guys tomorrow, or wait, Tuesday or Wednesday?
Tuesday would work.
Tuesday. So
Sound good?
here's one of my favorite interviews from Hendrix with Meatball Fulton, aka Thomas Lopez.
An interview with Jimi Hendrix. It was done in London about 2 weeks after his second album was released. I'm going to make some comments about my impressions of Hendrix and point out some things to look for when you listen to this interview. It's a good interview. When I met Jimi Hendrix, my first impression was his presence was so strong. It was sort of like stepping into a field of electricity. And I don't know if it's because of the giant amps that he was working with or just being a superstar and having all that energy directed at you. But I wish there had been a way that this tape could have captured some of that vibrancy that I felt at that moment. I did this interview mainly because I wanted to meet him. And I honestly did not have one question ready. I figured that, when the time came, I'd open my mouth and sort of a question would come out. We've all heard interviews where the interviewer is so involved lining up the next question that he or she doesn't hear what the person's trying to say. Well, I didn't have a next question. I just listened to what he was saying. And what he was saying led to the next question. And he was so sensitive, as you'll hear. He could see me listening, and he really opened up.
You really hate these interviews. Oh no, well it's all right. It's all right.
You do a lot.
Pardon?
A lot of people bothering you about interviews.
Well, to tell the truth, there is a lot, but it's all right though, sometimes you just feel like talking, sometimes you don't though, Just go in different moods.
Okay, so the
Yeah.
usual. Yeah, go ahead.
It's all right. No, it doesn't bother me at all. I just want to get this light for a second.
You're originally from Buffalo, and you've been here about
No, not from
No?
Buffalo.
God,
No,
where
I'm
did
from
I-
Seattle, Washington, originally. But I used to live. I lived all over the states, though. And then I wound up in New York, not too long ago.
Yeah.
But I lived all over the states. I stayed in Buffalo for about a month or two, and it was too cold up there.
Well, yeah, but if you were in Seattle, it can't be any colder in Buffalo.
No, Seattle has a different type of cold, though. It's a different. It's a nice coldness.
Yeah.
It isn't so cutting as Buffalo. Anyway, there's this girl up there trying to work roots on me. Work this brutal stuff, keep me there. I had to go to the hospital and all that, but I could make that soon.
What do you mean you had to go to the hospital?
Well, she tried working roots. That's a scene like they might put there's different things they can do. They can put something in your food or either put some hair in your shoe, some of the hair in your shoe. Voodoo stuff, yeah.
Mojo.
Yeah, and all that kind of stuff, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, she tried that, and I don't know. She must have tried it half-heartedly because I was just only sick in the hospital for about 2 or 3 days.
Do you ever get involved in that scene other than...
Not anymore. Really, like around in the southern United States, they have a lot of scenes like that going on.
Yeah.
But just if I see it happen or if I feel it happen, then I believe it.
Yeah.
But not necessarily if I just hear it being talked about.
What about charms and things like this?
Oh yeah.
The way...
If a person they give off certain electric shocks anyway.
Right,
Really.
yeah, energies.
Yeah, and then, so then if they can actually get these things together. Really, if the vibrations are strong enough to get these charms working, they can actually do it.
I was watching you when you were talking to this girl that came in. I think she sent you some clothes for you.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah, that was very nice because you were really watching her and you were really taking her in. I mean, take her in, and I mean just like sizing up.
Yeah, she seemed like a nice girl. I like to take her home and scrub her up a little bit, and then go into the scene, and then get the clothes measured up maybe. Oh, that's right. Yeah, she's supposed to come over there for that. I don't go by, like some girls, you don't go by appearance. You go by there's other things that girls have to offer besides their looks, that makes you might want to be with them, for a second or two. There's other things, besides that. I don't just go by this look, because we know the story, some of them some of the worst people in the world. But you go by other things. I don't know what it is. You can just feel little things. You say, "Damn, I might want to be with her." I don't know. Let me check myself there. See what happens. It's great.
What about this? I mean, I mentioned, needless to say, a lot of people are envious, me included.
Not necessarily, really.
Yeah.
Well, you shouldn't, because if you're not used to it, well, it could kill you, really. Really, but it's just another way of communication. That's why other people can't understand and say, "Well, damn, why are you with so many people?" I said, "Well, I don't necessarily be, touching those people all the time. I just be talking to them. Some I talk to, and then others, therefore, and they're after." This is a scene like if it's part of you, this is nature. I don't know. I just can't help it. That's all. It's a scene like that's another way of communication, though. You have your own ways, Some people just communicate better by, by not even knowing each other's name. By saying, "Hey, hi, how you doing there? Would you come with me here for a minute?" And then it's all, and then you do that. And you can be the best of friends then. Some even get married after that.
I find that it just sort of flow with it when you started to get this, this image, which, as you...
Oh, it was worse before, because I used to be on the block starving, and girls used to help me and all that, Girls are some of my best friends, because they used to help me, and really help me, too. And I really, ever since then, that's why I say to myself, well, any girl I meet now, I'm going to try to show my appreciation for what they did for me before. No, serious, though. It's just... I don't know, it's just nature.
In this section, we talk about his second album. He was really unhappy about it. This section is an interesting document, I guess you could call it, of the kinds of frustrations that Hendrix went through. That is, the artist, Jimi Hendrix, talking about what he's trying to do, create, and how he's being frustrated by those that were managing him at that time, what they wanted him to do and to be. I hope you'll listen closely to this part because there's something really bizarre happening between Hendrix and myself. Hendrix was so unhappy about the new album that just come out. He was trying to express his frustrations to me. You'll hear him sort of sputtering out of sheer frustration. But I felt at that time that what he was saying was so personal, so revealing that it shouldn't be on tape. He had obviously been hurt. And so what he was trying to tell me was really private stuff, not for the public. And at that time, I didn't have the sense to turn off the tape machine and set the mic down and say, okay, let's talk about it. Instead, what you hear is Hendrix trying to tell me about these frustrations of his. And I'm trying to get him not to tell me. My questions are trying to steer him away from it. But everything he talks about brings him right back to it again. Listen to the sound of his voice. He was incredibly open about himself.
I really don't care what our records as far as chart-wise. We had this one that only made number 11, His name, The Burning of the Midnight Lamp, which everybody around here hated. They said that was the worst record, But to me, that was the best one we ever made. Not as far as recording, because the recording technique was really bad. You couldn't hear the words so good. Probably that's what it was.
Yeah, are you satisfied with the recording technique
No,
generally?
not at all.
What about on the LP? Same thing?
Not at all. Worse even on the LPs. It makes me so mad. Because, see, that's part of us. And, like we recorded and everything, and then all of a sudden, something happens, and it just comes out all screwed up. You just get so mad. You just don't want to know about it anymore. Like, our next LP, every track is going to have to be right, or else I'm just, just going to forget about it. I mean, well, not forget about it. That's the way you say that,
right,
but you're not.
Yeah.
But that's the way I feel.
Do you think they're better in the States as far as recording? Or it really depends upon the engineer?
Well, like, all depends on what you want. Really, all depends where you go to. It really depends on so many things. The cutting of it. The cutting of it depends on the whole. That's the whole scene. You can get in there and mix and mix and mix and get such a beautiful sound. And when it's time to cut it, they could just screw it up so bad.
I don't understand.
I know. I wouldn't understand that either, because it comes out all bad. Because they go by levels and all that. Some people don't have imagination. See, when you cut a record, right before it's being printed, when you cut the master, that, if you want a sound where you can really deep sound, where you have depth and all this, you must almost remix it again right there, the cutting place. And 99% don't even do this. They just go and say, oh yeah, turn it up there, make sure that it doesn't go over there, make sure it doesn't go under, And there it is. It's nothing but one-dimensional.
Do you get the time that you need? I mean, because it's so costly anyway.
We did the money doesn't make any difference to me. Yeah, because that's what I make the money for, is to make better things, happen. I don't have no value of money at all. That's my only fault. I just get the things that I see and want, and or either try to put it into music. I want to have a stereo where it goes up. The sound goes up and behind and underneath, But all you can get now is just across and across.
Yeah.
Our new LP was made in 16 days, which I'm very sad about,
The one that's just recently, yeah. Really.
But no use even talk about, discussing why, because it really is a bad scene. But just makes me mad, though. It could have been so much better.
It's mainly the sound quality.
Well, the songs could have been better too. That's what I think, though. As soon as they finish, then you got to completely new ideas.
Yeah, right. Well, that's good. I mean, in a sense, because your mind's moving along, purring along nicely.
Yeah, it's not necessarily getting any better, but like you might move to different things,
Do you feel the groups are free to change as they want to?
No, half of them aren't. They're all thinking about their career and thinking about their future so much. I really don't give a damn about my future or career. I just want to make sure I can get out what I want, That's why I say we're very lucky. Because we didn't have, all of us didn't have that, so, it'd be great if we did, make it nice. But I really wouldn't care as long as we could be happy with what we're doing, like recording and stuff like that, or do what we want to do. We're still, we're not really doing what we want. But that's, completely.
Yeah. What about a new LP? Have you been thinking about this?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to make it a double LP, which would be almost impossible. And have about...
Because of the cost,
Well, yeah, it's a big hassle. Nobody doesn't want to do that. The record producers and the companies don't want to do that. I'm willing to spend every single penny on it if I thought it was good enough. But there you go, I do that, and then they leave me out there.
What about the length of the songs too? I mean, would you like them to be much longer?
It depends on what kind of song it is. If it's sung with about 3 or 4 movements, well, yeah, like this one song I wrote named Eyes and Imagination. That's the name of it, and it's about 14 minutes long. But it's telling about every sentence or every 2 sentences tell a completely different story. It's nothing but imagination. It starts out with this baby crying, a brand new baby has been born, and then you hear these bullets, in the background. It's nothing but this imagination, and it's every sentence tells a different story, and but it goes in about 4 major movements, but it always goes back to this one little thing. You must have that one little thing through it, that one little. But I don't even know if there's so many songs I wrote that we haven't even done yet that we'll probably never do. It's because, there's a lot of things around here that's really bad.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
We must be Elvis Presleys and rock and rolls and trogs. We must be that.
Yeah, that's where it's not, isn't it?
And there'll be no smoking in the gas chamber. Honestly.
Wow. Do you think people will be doing longer numbers if you're trying to?
Well, like if they have something
moving towards maybe even symphonies.
Yeah, I think they should if they have something to offer. Really, if the number really has to be long, they said, "Well, I got this number, but I just can't get it together unless I just need more time on it." Well, then they really should. They should never hold time like that because of a number. The song that we had named Purple Haze?
Yeah.
That was about it had about 1,000 words, and this makes me so mad because that isn't even the Purple Haze,
What do you mean?
I don't know, man. I must have frustrated old him. That's what I feel like. But you should have heard it, man. I had it written out. It's about going through all this land, it's mythical. Because that's what I like to do is write a lot of mythical scenes. Like the history of the wars on Neptune and all this mess, And the reason why the rings are there, you have all these. See, like how they got the Greek gods and all that mythology. Well, you can have your own mythology scene or write, fiction, complete fiction. I mean, anybody can say, well, I was walking down the street and I see an elephant floating through the sky. Well, it has no meaning at all. There's nothing to imagine except there's an elephant there. And if you don't watch out, you might break your neck.
Do you think you'll be able to make more demands as you continue?
Yeah. This whole thing's going to blow wide open soon.
This is probably my favorite part. I'm not sure how we got into talking about this. The original interview was lost except for these sections you're now hearing. And fortunately, these are the best sections. Anyway, at this point, Hendrix is so animated he gets up and starts pacing about the room. And I should mention this was done with a single handheld microphone. There's certain advantage to this. You have to sit alongside the person so you can swing the mic back and forth, from your questions to their answers. And it's sort of rubbing shoulders with a person, and it enables you to touch the person. And I don't mean necessarily physically touching, their arm or their hand or something. But, mentally touch the person, sort of sync your mind with their mental state. You have to feel the person, and they need to feel you. See, you're okay. And it establishes a trust. And as I've said, Hendrix's presence was so strong, and the energy in the room was so hot at this point, that I was high for a week after doing this interview. One last thought. I realized that if I approached Hendrix as the pop star, he would have been forced to reply as the pop star. And that's what this interview would have been, the pop star talking about his records. But I wanted to talk with Hendrix the person, the artist, and he replied as that, and that's what we get in this section. I think it's a rare and kind of a beautiful view of Hendrix as he talks about his childhood memories and his dreams.
Can you remember when you was a little baby? I think your memory comes through.
About the age of 2.5.
Yeah.
But it came back like a dream.
Yeah, there you go. When you think about it now, it's just blank before that, then you think of that. But I think that's where you come about on some other scenes too, Because human beings die too easily,
What What about the animal? You said the
Like,
animal.
like you might see an animal or something like that, and all of a sudden you might have a very
Right.
funny feeling go through you for a second.
Do you
like-
mean like looking into his eyes, or like, or
Yeah,
not necessarily, or
like-
just the animal itself?
Yeah, one time I seen this deer, you know, and because I see a lot of deers around where I used to be from. I said, wait, something went through me for once. Like I'd seen him. I mean, like I had some real close connections with that deer for one split second, and then it just went away like that. You know, that happens. You know, like a lot of friends of mine told me about that happened to them. You know, have you ever laid in bed and you was in this complete state where you couldn't move or couldn't do nothing like that, but you're like that, and you feel like you're going deeper and deeper into something, not sleep, but it's something else.
Yeah, exactly.
And every time I go into that, then I say, oh, hell, I'm scared as hell. You get all scared and stuff. So you try to say, help, help. You can't move. You can't scream. You say, help, help. You finally get out of it, because you just can't move. It's a very funny feeling. But one time I was going to try it. One time that feeling was coming through me. I said, oh, here we go. This time I'm going to see if I'm going to let it happen, see where I go to, or see what happens, So it was really getting really scary, man. It's going like that, I said, I'm not even asleep, So this is really strange. And somebody knocked on the door, I said, oh, because I wanted to find out.
Can you remember something really far back when you
Yeah, I can remember when the nurse put the dice. I remember.
Can you really?
Yeah, when the nurse. I don't know what I was there for, but I remember when I used to wear diapers, and then she was like talking to me. She took me out of this crib or something like that, and then she held me up to the window. This was in Seattle, and she was showing me something up against the sky. There's fireworks and all that. It must have been the 4th of July, And I remember her putting the diaper on me and almost sticking it, I was asleep, and then she put like that. I remember I didn't feel so good, I must have been in the hospital sick about something. And I had a bottle and all that kind of stuff. And then she held me up to the window. She said, she's saying something about that. And I was looking, and the sky was just
almost an acid thing going on.
wow, that's right. That's what it was because only beforehand, my first trip there, and nurse turns me out. Being high off the penicillin, she probably gave me some.
Can you remember any others?
Well, I was small enough to fit in the clothes basket. I remember when I was small enough to fit in the clothes basket. The straw clothes baskets they have in America?
Yeah.
You put all the dirty clothes in. And there's only about like that.
They call them hampers or something.
Yeah, hampers. Yeah. I remember my cousin and I was in there playing around.
Oh. Yeah.
But that must have been when I was about 3 or something like that. And like sometimes when you're sitting around, then you start remembering some of the things that happened beforehand. Those are the first two that comes to my mind. And some dreams that I had when I was real little, Like my mother was being carried away on this camel. And it was a big caravan. She's saying, well, I'm just seeing now. And she's going under these trees. So you can see the shade, the leaf patterns across her face. But she's going under this, like that. And the sun, how the sun shines through a tree. And if you go under the shadows of the tree, the shadows go across your face. Well, these were in green and yellow shadows. Like she's saying, well, I won't be seeing you too much anymore, so I'll see. And then about 2 years after that, she died, And I said, yeah, where you going though, like that? I remember that. I always will remember that. I never did forget. There's some dreams you never forget. Yeah. Like one time this is one dream you go down like that. This real big hill, but it has real long grass, and then there's a whole lot of bananas on the floor of this hill, but they're all spread all over, and they're growing from the ground by each one separate. And I remember that, and then we were skating across that. I don't know how we were, but what you do is you pour this stuff out that we made up. Those big bags, you pour it out across the bananas, and it fills up all the gaps, and then you skate across it. I remember those things,
You must have been dreaming in color when you were very young.
Oh, definitely. I don't remember too many. The closest to a black and white dream I ever had was in pastel shades,
Yeah.
One time I was in pastel shades, like those maroon and dark, and then very light maroon, and then this big gold clip out of the middle of nowhere. That was great. That was the closest I ever got to black and white.
This final section is only a few words about reincarnation and death.
People really believe that every single person that's born here is completely different. I mean that's true, but through the times, can you imagine all these? What if we all supposed to go to heaven? All that? Can you imagine all these people who died beforehand, and all of us, all of them in heaven, all of them top each other? Hey man, move over, man! I don't have the rule up here. It's like, you have no business dying, did you? So, oh God. So can you imagine that? Wow.
This has been an interview with Jimi Hendrix. Your guide has been Meatball Fulton.
Yeah, great interview.
Yeah. I agree.
So-
An excellent interview.
Early happy birthday to Mr. Hendricks.
Yeah.
Still lives on.
May he rest in power wherever he's at the moment.
Sure. I'm sure. But so I suggest to anybody, especially tomorrow, get the only album he had control over, because you can see it here in the interview. He had no
Yeah.
control.
Yeah.
Purple Haze was a 20-minute song, and they fucking raped it.
Yeah.
So go out and buy Electric Ladyland.
Okay.
Put headphones on.
Yeah.
Lay down with no distractions. It'll change your life.
That's awesome.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, we'll catch you the next time. Bye, everybody.
Later, Gator.